2009, they rode the Mangini Express, Rex did, right to the AFC Championship game. Then they built upon that and got to the 2010 Championship game. And then it came. The worst offseason in New York Jets history.
Oh, my goodness. What is going on, Jets fans? Green Bean is in the middle of nowhere, kind of, with pink headphones, all to talk free agency with you. We have an amazing show planned. And by amazing, I mean, you know, whatever. Whatever will happen, will happen. I think it's going to be amazing because you guys are here. I'm psyched. This is the first ever live Green Bean's Jets pod. As you guys know, we've pulled off 62 straight episodes pre-recorded. This will be episode 63, but the first live episode. Now, I hope I come through clearly. I'm kind of on the outskirts of town here, trying to get you guys some beautiful views as best I can, would still have an internet. So we're going to get into it, guys. We have 27 minutes until the legal tampering period opens, but I would be remiss if I went into this alone. So I have you guys in the chat, but we're going to bring in some heavy artillery, and we're going to get somebody in here that's going to help us make sense of all this madness. Let's say hello to our good friend, Mr. Matt O'Leary. What's going on, Matt?
Oh, Green Bean's, good to be hanging out with you and chat, of course, as well on a free agency day. It's like Christmas Eve, my friend. We have a lot to get into.
It is like Christmas Eve. And look, we don't know if this is the Christmas that we find out our dad hasn't really been working. He's been going to the bar and we don't really have any money and we're going to be happy to eat this year. We don't know, but it's still exciting for the kids Christmas Eve, no matter how you slice it. So let me ask you this, man. What do you think? Like, do you think Jor Douglas is going to take the similar approach that he's always done? I mean, we only have 2 off seasons, but he's taken a similar approach both off seasons where he kind of lets the day unfold and then like right before the night ends, he does a thing or two. Or do you think we're going to see a little bit more aggressive now that he has his coaching staff, he's got his quarterback? What do you see happening today?
Yeah, I think he ends up being a tad more aggressive now. I don't think it's going to be anything monster, but the one guy I think that they have a legitimate shot at getting who's like a pretty big name guy is Marcus Williams. I've just seen so many times that name get brought up. It's almost like it's either a huge smoke screen or they're really in on him. But other than that, yeah, I think it'll be a relatively quiet day, but I do think he gets involved a little bit earlier. Like I know a couple years ago, I think George Fant was his first signing, and that was at like 9:00 at night. Like I don't think it's going to be like that crazy today.
Yeah, and that was after the beat and all the reporters had the Jets deep into the Conklin negotiations. They had us, the Jets are fighting for Conklin, and then we lost them to the Browns. Very similar to how we just lost Amari Cooper to the Browns. But then all of a sudden, Jor Douglas comes out with George Fant, and collectively, Jetnation cried and complained and bitched and said it was a panic signing. Remember that, Matt? Remember the panic signing after we signed George Fant?
I do, yes. It seemed like everyone's saying, who is this guy and why are they paying him this top tier money for 3 years? And they're pretty much relatively unknown in Seattle. But that one's probably been his best free agent signing to date, no?
It's up there, man. It really is. I mean, you could maybe say, I think that might be the only one, man. And who else? What other free agents have we brought in that have been like really, I mean, he's done some scrap heap stuff that guys with low expectations have exceeded them. But I mean, who else? What other free agents do we have besides George Fant? Oh, Connor McGovern, I guess, could be in there as well. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. That's fair, I guess.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, who knows? Look, last year's first free agent was Jared Davis, and we know how that went. Now, people say that we signed him first because he was our priority. I don't know if it was like they aggressively sought him. I think he just agreed quick. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. They're probably negotiating with a bunch of people, but Jared Davis was first nonetheless. So we have George Fant and Jared Davis. So this year, so you think Marcus Williams is do you think that we just go right at him and sign him the first day if we get him?
Yeah, I think if they are to make like I said, if they are to make a big splash, I feel like he's going to be the guy, and you'd have to sign him early. I don't think that's someone who's going to be around on the market for very long.
Yeah, right. There are those tiers. Like there are guys that you can take it slow with, but there's going to be some aggressive lobbying from other teams, like Marcus Williams, maybe Allen Robinson, and some others, maybe Laken Tomlinson. See, like me, I'm really hoping that they go right at Laken Tomlinson today, get his ex-coach on the phone, to have John Benton call him on his personal line and say, dude, get over here. We need you. You're the last piece to what we're building here. Just get over here. We know each other. We're good pals. Get that done right away. If they did that, I would be ecstatic. Everything else is gravy after that for me. All I need is right guard. Like I want a vet right guard. And then, like you said, Marcus Williams, great. If we go get Carlton Davis or, any of these guys, Allen Robinson, it's great. But if we don't secure the right guard spot before the draft, I'm going to be disappointed. Do you feel similarly, or do you have a different take on that?
I honestly, I could go either way on that one. Like, I think both plans are fine, and we'll know more after the next few days what they're going to look to do in the NFL draft based on who they sign. But you mentioned it, Tomlinson just makes so much sense because it's essentially the same system, and he's familiar with these coaches. So isn't that like the obvious signing if you're going to go for one? So yeah, I would be happy if they brought him in. Same thing. I like Corbett from the Rams a lot. He would probably be someone, or even Daniels, because he's so young, he still has the upside for me.
Yep. 25 years old. And there are some conversations, or let's call them rumors, that maybe even Saffold, who just not too long ago was a guy that we were rumored to wanting to bring in ourselves. So they're saying that he might get released because of the contract. They don't want to pay him what they paid to get him in there. And that's one of the things I think Jets fans need to focus on. Like, there's a reason why Khalil Mack was traded, why Amari Cooper was traded, why Russell Wilson was traded, because these teams throw all this money at people with that hope that it's going to happen right now. Like the Chicago Bears went to the playoffs. They lost in the very famous double doink game with that kicker, with the double doink kick. And then they figured, hey, man, let's go out there, make a big push. We got Nagy, we got Trubisky, we got everything we need. Let's go pay some money, get Khalil Mack in here. He'll be the final piece, and it didn't work. And now they have to get him off the books. So when you look at even a guy now like Saffold, they're thinking of getting rid of him. It's because of money, most likely. It's like if it doesn't happen in those windows, or they need to get rid of guys. So that's the thing. It can be frustrating for us as fans. But the truth is that this is the first GM we've ever had that is kind of taking a fiscal approach and not getting into those situations. And I want to pivot that to Amari Cooper and see your feelings on that. But a lot of Jets fans are upset about that because they only gave up a 5th round pick. But the truth is that I never thought Jor Douglas was going to pay him $20 million. I thought Dallas would have to eat some of it, or they have to renegotiate or something like that. But there's a reason why Dallas gave him away for a 5th round pick. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason, because they needed that money off of their books. And guys talk about the ability to release them after a year because there's no guaranteed money. But doesn't that suck, Matt? Like, to bring in a number 1 wide receiver, your quarterback spends the year getting used to him, and then we cut him because we don't want to pay him. Like, do you see that as the same negative I do, or is it not such a big deal? Do you have a different spin on it?
I think yesterday I was frustrated. I wasn't mad because, like, I get it. I'm not naive. The $20 million is a lot, but I think the reason why I was frustrated was more so like if it's not going to be giving up a day 3 pick for a guy who can come in and be a number 1, then what is your plan? If it is take Garrett Wilson, Traylon Burks at 10, okay, that's totally fine. I'm a little bit nervous with Douglas and hoarding cap space and draft capital because my philosophy is that you need a balanced approach. I don't think you could build your roster just only through the NFL draft. I think you have to be able to supplement it with both trades and free agency. And again, like I'm not going to put him on the cross for not trading for Amari Cooper, but point in my video or reaction yesterday was, okay, you don't want to do that. So what's your plan then? I'm a little bit nervous with what the alternative is going to be, I guess.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, look, on one hand, like I just said, it's nice to have a general manager that doesn't get into these situations where in a year or 2 years we're desperately, frantically trying to get rid of these contracts. At the same time, it would be nice, like we do have $48 million, and we do have some cuts that could bring us into the mid-60s. Maybe, just maybe, we could use some of that money and get some of the higher echelon guys not floating around in Jared Davisville, for guys that you hope are going to turn it around. It would be nice to see him spend little money. And if it's on a right guard, if it's on Marcus Williams, if it's on Allen Robinson, and I was just listening to your early release of Just Jets this week, which I think is smart, my friend, because we both had it happen. You release a video and moments later it's moot. It's over, Yeah. So I thought that was a good idea, but you were talking about that a little bit. And anyway, I tend to agree. And it's really going to be interesting to see how he goes about it because we have the money. We have the draft capital. I'm not afraid. I think he's going to use the draft capital, of course. But what are we going to do leading into the draft to get us in a position where we don't have to reach for need and all that sort of stuff? Maybe we spend a little bit of money on guys like Marcus Williams or even Tyrann Mathieu. If they signed Mathieu, would you be just as happy, or are you going to be like kind of consolation prize?
I would be happy, not as happy as Williams though, just because he's a little bit older. Like Marcus Williams, you could give a 5-year deal to and not have to worry about because he's only 25 years old. With Mathieu, he's a little bit older, so I don't know how long he has left in his prime. And I think he's just maybe a little bit of the bigger name, so the name recognition plays a part in it. But I think Williams is a better all-around player. So,
yeah, and obviously the youth. It's funny too because he and Marcus May were drafted in the same class, and Marcus May is considered an old man in many respects, and then you got Marcus Williams, who's considered a young, sprightly fella. It just shows, McCagnon's propensity to drafting guys that are old. That comes to roost as well. It's like, you want to have guys for a while. But I want to say hello to some people in the chat. Let's say Friggle D is here. Matthias Simon. You guys are awesome, man. This is great. Dark Soldier's back. Mr. Terrible. Last night we were calling him Mr. Terrible Take. But hey, that happens. Joseph Grana is here. Yoshi's back. Garrett Starnes. Deli's here. Watu who I want to remind you guys is releasing articles on GreenBeanJetsfan.com, and they're awesome, man. The level of research is impressive. Tomorrow we'll be releasing his newest article, but there are the GM articles, and there are a few in there for you guys. You can check out Watu at GreenBeanJetsfan.com. Jake Klein is here. Nick Dow, Jay-Z Black, and he says, I've said it before on your best approach video. The most strategic and logical approach to free agency is getting a center, cornerback, and a safety. And that's an interesting one with the center. Obviously, we saw the rumors with us tying us to Jensen, and then Butthole comes back out of retirement after 15 minutes of being retired. He comes back. I almost think it was strategic, like excite everybody for the Tampa Bay free agent period. I mean, I don't think that's happenstance. I think that was kind of planned a little bit. But he comes back and immediately they re-sign Jensen. But what do you think about the center thing? I mean, it kind of dovetails with the whole tackle thing. Like, technically speaking, those are two positions that we actually have players that can play at least an NFL level. And people want to move McGovern out and bring in another center. Do you see logic to that? Or you think, hey, man, let's leave him there, maybe draft a guy in the fourth to take his job next year? Where do you stand on the center thing? There are a few out there I'm seeing rumored, even though Jensen is back with the Bucks.
Yeah, I didn't really get that one because I feel like you're just creating a hole to fill it. And especially with Jensen, like, he's better, but by how much? And he got $13 million where you're looking at either 9 or 10 for McGovern. Like,
right.
I don't know. I didn't think it made a whole lot of sense, especially with Jensen, because I mean, Jensen's not very good in pass protection. He's a good run blocker and he plays with that mean spirit and stuff like that. And people love him for it, but he's not that great in pass protection. So I feel like you'd just be creating another hole and filling it with a more expensive piece. I would rather see them, kind of like you said earlier, just sign a guard. If you're going to improve the offensive line in free agency, then add a guard. I'm not looking to add another center.
Yeah, I mean, and you said it the perfect way that I would say it too. It's why create a hole just to fill it when we have holes? Like, we're not at a place where we have this really solid established foundation and we're just looking to upgrade players. Like, no, we need to fill holes. We need to get guys in here and actually have a team. Now, the good news is we have 4 top 40 picks. So theoretically, that's 4 starters that should be coming in from this year's draft. Or at least, contributors. They should be coming in and contributing right away. Then you have a 3rd round pick and you can find similar talent there. So we're looking at 4 to 5 potentially high caliber starting level players coming in, and that's great. But again, using one on maybe a tackle or Linderbaum a center, as much as I love the players at those positions, it seems similar. The only benefit with maybe if Icky's there is that you can fill that right guard spot before you figure out the whole Fant thing next year. So that would be an interesting one. So, guys, Phil Adams is here from the UK. Phil Adams has been poking his nose. He's been sniffing around lately again, and he had a little break, and he's back around. Eddie DeJesus is here. He says the butthole comes back. Oh, look at this. So the Packers just released Zadarius Smith. That's an interesting one. Paul Mancini lets us know. What do you think about that? Any interest in Zadarius Smith, Matt?
Definitely. He got injured last year, but
I think you went on mute, Matt.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
I lost you there. Can you guys hear him? Jeremy, can you hear him? You can? Oh, so that's me. Hold on. Go ahead, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah,
with Zadarius,
my headphones.
Oh boy. With Zadarius Smith, it was someone that I thought they should be interested in a couple of years ago, and he's someone who you could pencil in for double-digit sacks. I would be all over it. I think that's someone on the veteran market at the edge position that I'd be willing to spend on.
Yeah. See, now that's one of those guys that, like, I don't think you bring him in and he solves the problem, but very similar to how I see bringing in a guy like a Fowler. It's having talented guys to be a part of the rotation and the team and all that sort of stuff. But you're right. I was really wanting Zadarius Smith. What was that? 3 years ago now, I think it was, that he was a free agent last time. I think so. But I really wanted him then, but I would kick the tires on that too. Frank Clark is being released. What do you think of that?
Frank Clark, I'd have to look up his numbers a little bit more. I'm unsure with Frank Clark. I always mix up him and D Ford, who I know they were pretty much swapped. So I'm not as familiar with.
Okay, yeah, Frank Clark, as we know, was a Seattle Seahawk. They traded him to the Chiefs for a 1st-round pick, and you want to know why they traded him? It wasn't because he sucked, because he didn't. They needed to get him off the book so they could sign Russell Wilson. So this is one of those situations again, guys. Like, as we build our team and we get to a place where we're an 8-9 win team consistently, or at least expectation-wise, like we should win 9 games. Then going out there and getting, splurging on a couple guys to kind of try to push you over the hump, that makes sense. Right now, bringing in these guys and getting us into a situation where we have to undo it in a year or 2 years seems like the wrong approach. And it's what we've watched here for a long time. So I'm even though it's frustrating, and I have just as much interest in signing big names as anybody else. All right, come on. Of course, I'd love to see Amari Cooper, Allen Robinson, Alex Kappa. Like, yeah, I would love it. But the truth is that has rarely worked out for us. And it's nice to see that Joe Douglas is able to withstand our consistent onslaught of intensity and just keep to the plan. Dan Mazzarella says Justin Hardy is talking about Marcus Williams coming to the Jets. Now, I saw Justin Hardy talking a little bit about how great it would be to have another Saint player here. But was he talking about Marcus Williams? And how do you feel about that, man? You think Justin Hardy can have any impact?
Yeah, get him as a recruiter. I mean, he's someone who's he's a captain. I'd imagine that they love him in the locker room, and he was a big part of those New Orleans Saints special teams. So why not? Yeah, get him recruiting some of these Saints guys.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. People want to cut Sheldon Rankins, but I'm going to tell you something about Sheldon Rankins. He was also considered like like, I don't know if he was officially a captain, but he was one of the leaders on that defensive line, and the team loved him. So bringing in a guy for 2 years on a bad team and then just cutting them the next year might not be a good look out there in free agent land. Let's let Justin Hardy and Sheldon Rankins go out there and recruit. They are respected people in the NFL. You got CJ Mosley, you got Rankins, you got Justin Hardy, and obviously Vincent Smith. They're all out there talking and getting people over here. Cutting them right now might be more damaging than it can be helpful right now, even though you get the, $5.5 million. So, guys, you are watching the first ever live Green Beans Jets pod. I am in the middle of kind of right on the outskirts. That's Sedona right over there. Those mountains over there. It's hard to see, I know, but right over there is Sedona. I'm on the outskirts. I'm kind of between society, civilization, and the desert. So we're right here, and I am fortunate enough to have our guest, Mr. Matt O'Leary, NY, who you guys know very, very well. But if you don't, he just released his Just Jets podcast. He released it early, yesterday, I think it was, because I was listening last night and this morning. So you can find Matt at Matt O'Leary NY all over the socials. He was fortunate enough or just smart enough to make all the things the same. Unlike me, I have 10 different names out there and nobody can figure it out, and I suck at this. So Matt is smarter than me, but I'm grateful that you're here. And John Amarella's in the chat. Submission 72 is in the chat. Jets Forever is back. Good to see you here tonight, buddy, or this morning. I'm not used to doing morning ones. So, guys, we want to get into a thing. We've had time to think about it. You've had time to decompress from the Amari Cooper and the Khalil Mack and all the stuff that we are, a lot of Jets fans were saying Jor Douglas is asleep at the wheel. We've had time to settle that down. Who do we really want out there? Who is it? Who's the free agent? If you could only sign one, who's it going to be? And as we say that, we just heard that the Dolphins retained Agba 4 years, $65 million. What do you think of that, Matt? He was somebody I heard people talking about.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but I think he's worth it. He's just consistently gives you like 9+ sacks. He's been steady for them for a while now, so I'm not surprised to see him stay.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, these are the types of guys that good teams, I mean, even bad teams, but teams that are trying to at least maintain what they have, like you want to keep those players around, which is why I want to see guys like Berrios, LDT, even though he's newer. I think having these guys, being able to keep our own is going to be important. And I'm really not impressed, even though I don't have any issue with signing Connor McDermott, Will Parks, LaMarcus Joyner, and as of yesterday, Nick Bawden, the fullback, was re-signed. That's fine. I don't have any qualms with doing that, but that can't be all we do. I'm really hoping that today we're able to get some news out, just like the Dolphins just did with signing Agba. Let's sign Berrios. Let's sign some of these guys. Let's cut the shit, right, Matt? Let's cut it out. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Let's get some people.
No, totally agree. And like, you don't have to spend like a drunken sailor like McCagnon, but we have to be a little bit more aggressive in the approach, I think.
Right. Yeah, a little bit. Just uptick, Matt. Just a slight uptick. So Eddie DeJesus, he says, asking for a friend. Trade Zach for Watson. So are you into that? Would you maybe send Zach Wilson and some picks to the Texans for Watson? Do you think that would be a good move?
No, I'm out on that. I just don't. I think the Jets went with the rookie last year, and I think it turned out to be the right decision. And just build around him, please. Like, let's do this the right way.
Right. I tend to agree. I mean, as alluring and sexy and fun as it all would be, We used a second overall pick on Zach Wilson. Let's just build around this guy. Let's make sure we don't have Sam Darnold part 2. Let's just get him his line, get him his protection, get him his receivers, give him some tight ends to work with, and let's just build around this guy and make sure he has every opportunity to succeed. Because even though I would have no problem, like, quote, buying a team, I have no problem with it, really. It is that much sweeter when you can build your own team, your guys, your draft picks. You've built it, and it's your guys. I mean, there's something sweeter about that. Do you agree?
Oh, no, definitely. Yeah. And I think the core of your team has to be through the draft. But I think the last time we really saw a productive free agency where they added to their young core was in 2008 when they brought in all those veterans like Faneca and Chris Jenkins and Damian Woody and stuff like that. So, but it was built around the core of Mangold, Ferguson, Revis, Harris, all those guys. So I think you need both. Is what I've been trying to say here for the last little bit.
Yeah. And I happen to agree with you. I mean, look, it's great to have a core through the draft, but, if you only built through the draft, if you said we're not bringing in any free agents or anything, that's going to be a slow moving train, man. We're never going to get there. The people are going to be crying for their milk, and we're not going to have gotten it to them. So Jacob Booth checks in with a super chat. Thank you, Jacob. He says, I get to watch one of these live from the UK because it's not the middle of the night. Yay! I really appreciate you guys. Well, thanks, Jacob, and that's nice. That's nice to be able to give you guys this in the middle of the day. That's why, I'll tell you guys the truth here. This was my wife's idea. Like, she said, hey, Monday's a big, exciting day. Because I was, look, what I was doing was I'm in the house complaining about if I make a podcast right before the free agency, it's going to be, I was bitching and moaning like I do. And my wife said, well, why don't you just go live? And I was like, holy shit, that's a good idea. And then as a derivative, right, we get to have guys in here that don't get to watch because we go on at 3 a.m. Where they live. So this is good, Jacob. I'm really happy to hear that. And I'm glad that you're here. Mr. D checks in. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. D. He says, off topic, I'd like to say the only good thing about Tom Brady coming back is the Jets have another chance to kick his ass. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, we're not going to play them anytime soon, right? We don't play them this year. So that's going to be a minute. But I really got to say, I took some joy out of the fact that his last game was a loss. I did. I mean, it's small potatoes. I know it is. But I did like it. I liked that he came back and he didn't make it, and his last game was a loss, and he gets to walk away, without a victory. But he comes back, and I would love to see him completely implode and lose all his skills. I would love it. But, dude, I've been rooting for this guy to suck for 20 years. It's just, I'm done. I'm ready. Chances are they're going to be in the championship game. And we're going to watch him, Mr. D. We're going to watch him win. And that's the shitty thing about it. So you think, are you happy or disgruntled about Brady? Do you not care? What do you think of that?
No, I'm disgruntled. I want him very much so to go away. I'm done. I'm over it. Just go away.
I know. Dude. What's weird? And dude, I mean, I don't know. It seems to me like Brady wanted to watch his own funeral. Like he wanted to be able to see everybody come to the casket and go, oh, we're going to miss you. And then he goes, I'm alive. You know what I mean? Like that's what he did. And it bothers the shit out of me. He's an attention whore. And he's just, I don't know, man. Like now we get to watch, like after all the fanfare, I was like, good, this is finally the end of this guy. Just go away. And then he comes back. And I think that he and Arians probably timed it. He probably knew he was going to come back and for at least a little while. And him and Arians say, you know what? Maximum value would be the day before free agency. Let's get the NFL psyched. Let's get our own free agent psyched to stay, maybe take a little bit of less money to keep the band together. And I don't know. It just bothers the living shit out of me. I'm with you, Mr. D. It would be nice. Like hypothetically, we both get to the Super Bowl this year and we beat them. There would be nothing sweeter than that for me. Right, Matt?
That's the pinnacle. That would be the best possible scenario. But I don't know if I'd be willing to bet on that happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't be betting on it. Like, right, best case scenario, the absolute pinnacle, it would all come to a head for us. But guys, when has that ever happened for? Like, when? It's not going to happen. Now we have a fiscally responsible, slow-moving general manager. Like, we're probably never going to get that opportunity. We had it last year. We played him well, and that was the best we're going to get. And I wouldn't hold my breath, guys. I wouldn't hold my breath. So Adam says 4 minutes to go, but now it is 12:01. Who'd the Jets sign? Did we sign anybody, Matt? Do you see anything?
No, it's all quiet on the Western Front right now, so we will have to keep refreshing like mad. But with that, I think I'm going to hop out of here so that I could start doing a little bit of prep for my show coming on a little bit. But I appreciate you having me on as always, and
Yeah,
it's going to be a fun day.
it is, man. Right on, Matt. Right on. And I appreciate you coming. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'm sure I'll be listening and watching you in a little while anyway. We'll get it all going. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting day. Matt O'Leary, everybody. Thanks for coming on, Matt.
Anytime, man. I'll talk to you soon.
See ya. There he goes, Mr. Matt O'Leary. Now, Jeremy, tell me, when I went on full screen, did I get more pixelated? Did that happen? Because that happens sometimes. I might need to bring up something. Did you notice anything happen? We're good. So let's get into some of your chats. I want to say this though. Last night, as I perused the chat afterward, there was a lot of political bullshit. And I don't want it in here. I don't want it. I don't really give two shits about your feelings on it. I just don't. There are plenty of forums for that stuff. This is a Jets forum. We can talk about some fun stuff and be loose, but I don't want politics, religion. I don't want any of it in here. So please do us that favor. And I'm going to tell you the other secret. Nobody else gives a shit either. So if you want to go talk politics, go talk politics. There's plenty of places for that. We're trying to talk about how disappointed we are going to be with the New York Jets' lack of free agent signings. That's what we're here to talk about. We're here to console one another. So do me that favor. Keep the bullshit out of the chat. No reason for it. And then I want to get your thoughts, your questions. We're going to keep this to you guys. And I want to find out what's going on. So is this right? Did Kappa already sign with the Bengals? Is that real? So guys, another thing I'll say is this. Do us another favor. Don't fucking put in fake news. Like, we are waiting, bated breath right now. We're looking, we're scouring, we're going on to it. Don't put up fake stuff. Like, that's just bullshit. I don't even know why people get happiness out of that. So, yeah, football only, right, Melvin? That's it. That's it. So let's hit this like button. Let's remind everybody that if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you can do that very, very easily. Just click that subscribe button and it's done forever unless you undo it. Easiest thing in the world, but liking the stream helps out the algorithm. It gets me in front of more people, and I appreciate that. If you want to support the channel and get exclusive content from yours truly, you can join my Patreon. The link's right in the description as well. I appreciate that, but the truth is you get a whole bunch of extra stuff. So that's really cool. We have you get a lot of personal time with me, which is fun. So you can do that too. And I want to tell you guys too, with gas prices going up, I'm not sponsored by this company or anything. This is just me talking to you. I put a link in the description for an app that I've been using for no less than 3 years. I've used it. You guys know I travel constantly all around the country, and I have used this app throughout the country. You just open the app. It'll tell you which gas stations are giving away how much percentage, how many cents per gallon. It's an average of anywhere from 5 to 20 cents. I usually, for diesel, I get around 15 cents a gallon off. So you just click it, and then you take a picture of the receipt in the app, and then they give you money. You just tell them how you want it. You want it in a Publix card. You want it ShopRite. You want it Amazon. I usually get Amazon. But if you click that link and use my promo code, we both get a little bit of extra money off. We both get, I think, 15 cents off the first time you use it. So it's helpful, man. And I'm just trying to give you guys some love. I have used that app pretty much exclusively. I don't buy gas unless I absolutely have to without that app. So You can click the link. It will help you out. It's not a pain in the ass. It's super easy, but I wanted to give that to you guys as well. So let's see what we got here. So the Panthers are cutting Morgan Fox. That's interesting. What do you guys think about that? So I want to get your questions. Let's see here. Gitmo Bob checking in. What's up, Bob? He says, it's interesting how many players are getting released late and probably causing a lot of teams to rethink their free agent strategy. I bet you're right. Now, you know, the other thing, though, I think, Bob, I get the suspicion that a lot of teams already have at least an idea of who might get released from where. I think they have at least a surface level awareness of who might be available. So I'm sure they factor them in. But you're right. I mean, if you're thinking, hey, we're going to go give this guy $19 million and then another guy comes out that's almost the same impact and he's going to be 13, you could, slam the brakes real quick and go into that, with a totally different mindset. So let's see what else we got here. I think I got a super chat I don't want to miss. Wise Jets fan. What's up, Wise Jets fan? Thank you for the super chat. He says, Chris Godwin is worth 2 firsts. I say we give him an offer the Bucks can't match. Well, they just franchised him, right? They didn't tender him. Correct me if I'm wrong. If they gave him it all depends on how you do it. When you franchise a guy, they have to put there's a first round tender on it, but that's not, if you franchise tag him, he's yours. And then there's a first round tender that you can give, whatever. But I would never give 2 firsts for Godwin, though, on the underneath it all, Wise Jets fan. I just happen to disagree. And I like Godwin. He was the guy I wanted us to get last year in free agency, but they franchised him. And then this year I was hoping he came out. Even after the injury, I was hoping that we'd take a swing at him. But that would be expensive, man. I would never give 2 firsts for any wide receiver, quite frankly. I don't think so. So Mike G says, hey, it'll be a great day. Yeah, man. Yeah, smash that like button for Beans. Right on. So let's see. I saw the Rams re-signed Noteboom. I don't even know who that is. Yeah, Calvin, a Kappa to the Bengals. See, dude, now you're going to tell me that they didn't already work this out? How can you do it? We are 8 minutes into the free agent period. That came out 5 minutes ago. So you're telling me 3 or 4 minutes into the legal tampering window, they already have it worked out? Come on. Who we lying to here? That's crazy. Highly Skeptical says, call me crazy, but I'd love us to sign Chandler Jones. Well, it would depend on the money, but yeah, who wouldn't be happy about that? I want to remind us, he did have 10.5 sacks, but 5 of those were in this first game. So he went the rest of the year, 16 games, with getting 5 more. He's still an impact player. And hey, shit, we haven't had a guy get 10.5 sacks in a long time. So it doesn't matter how you slice it. Let's see. 4-year deal Kappa gets. Paul Mancini, thank you. Kappa with a 4-year deal. So $10 million a year? That's it? Oh, dude, they got to go get Daniels or Tomlinson right now. Let's see. So Darius Smith cut by the right. We saw that one. Cap signed 4-year deal, 10. Dude, that sounds cheap to me. Doesn't that sound cheap? Come on. So the Bills signed wide receiver Isaiah McKenzie on a 2-year, $4.5 million contract. That's interesting. Let's see. Mitch Morse got extended by Buffalo. That's an interesting one. Mitch Morse is good. Remember when he came to the Bills, the big knock on Mitch Morse was his concussions. He was one of the best centers in the league. That wasn't in question, but he had numerous concussions. They were saying 1 or 2 more, and he's out. Like, he can't continue. So I'm happy to see. I hate the Bills and all that, but as far as the man, I'm happy that a guy that good was able to kind of get past that. Concussions kill us, man. I mean, I hate guys. I hate when guys get concussions and they have to go out. It's like, I don't know. It seems sad to me. What's the app's name? The app's name is Get Upside. The link, it should be in the description. Let me make sure here. I think I put it in there for you guys. Let me just make sure. Oh, shit. I didn't put it in there. All right. I'm going to have to get that in there. Sorry. I went and talked about it. What the hell's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I'm going to have to redo that for you guys. Give me a sec here. I'll get it going. Whoops. So, all right, I'll get that going for you guys. Here it is. I'm going to put it in there. Give me 30 seconds, and it'll be in there for you guys. My bad. Thank you for bringing that up because I'm over here talking about it, and you guys are like, hey, there's nothing here. So let's see here. I'm going to put it in right now. I'm going to put it right under the Patreon link, okay? There it is. It says save money on gas. It is now in there. It's in there. Okay, so we're good. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. Because I'm telling you, man, like I said, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I don't get anything out of it other than the first time you use it, I get 15 cents off a gallon, which is great. But that's not, it's not going to drive me to talk about somebody really 15 cents. But I think in this day and age, I am particularly sensitive to the gas prices because I live out here. So it is kicking my ass, right? So I figure, hey, I use this. Let me pass it on to my people, and we'll go from there. Let's see. Boycott Activision says, how is it Jets fans don't understand the words, we already have a good center? Yeah, well, this is what Matt and I were just talking about a few minutes ago, Boycott. It was that, it's not that you can't upgrade from McGovern. I don't think he's the best center in the league, but it's creating a hole to fill a hole. Now, I think we should use those resources, the top picks, the money. I think let's fill a hole. Now, if you want to take a third or fourth round center and have him groom for a year behind McGovern, so you're great with, you're fine with cutting him next year or letting his contract expire, great. That's the way to do it. But pushing McGovern out just to bring a guy in and start over, unless you have some serious problems with McGovern, like you don't like him, maybe he and Zach don't get along, something like that, then that's a different story. But I'm with you. I really am. Iowan Jets fan, what's up, buddy? He says, GreenBean's Patreon is absolutely fantastic. 10 out of 10 would recommend, right? We have a good time. We get together every Wednesday. We talk all week. It's fantastic. Thank you. What's up, Owen? I see you, buddy. I heard Devontae Adams told the Packers he won't play under the Fran tag. Yeah, well, I think what it does, though, Jason, is it gives them the opportunity to be the only team that can negotiate with him, right? He didn't sign it, but nobody can get him. So I think that's what they're trying to do there. They'll get him on a contract, I think. They'll get him. Let's see here. We got a super chat from Philip Bagachuk. He says, thank you. He says, some gas money to keep Green Bean moving around. What are your realistic free agent expectations? Well, I got to say, Philip, thank you, number one. But number two, my expectations were not that Alex Kappa would be gone 4 minutes into free agency. I don't like that. I want the Jets to get one of James Daniels, Laken Tomlinson, or it was Alex Kappa. Those were my three guys at right guard. One's gone less than 5 minutes, so I'm disappointed. But my expectations are this. We will get a right guard. Hopefully it's one of those two that are left, right? Hopefully. I think that we will get a tight end, even though the tight ends, that it's been decimated, right? We saw Gesicki. We saw Dalton Schultz. We saw Njoku. We even saw Zach Ertz last night got re-signed. So I'm still thinking that we bring in a vet that can be an upgrade over Croft and Griffin. Because Croft did fine. Croft, when he was on the field, he was okay. But he was hurt most of the year. Like, that's no fun. Goodbye. For, whatever, $3 million or $5 million. I forget what he was. But I think we can upgrade there. So I'd like to see, I know people are talking about OJ Howard. That one kind of spooks me a little bit. I don't know. There's a couple out there, but I think right guard, one of the defensive backs, whether it's a cornerback and or safety, I think we got to get one. And then we should still draft one or two. I really think that. So I think those are my realistic expectations. Right guard, defensive back, tight end, and probably some form of wide receiver. I'd love it to be a big one, but I don't know. Garrett Starn says the link in the video from last night's description in the yes, it's that. That's where I just got it actually. So I thought I put it in here, but I didn't. But thank you guys for kind of backing me up on that one. Yeah, I highly recommend it, guys. I really do. Let's see. I don't want any. John Amarella, what's up? I thought you had to work today. He told me he couldn't come. He had to work, guys. John's sneaking around right now. Right now, he's on the toilet. That's what he's doing. He says, I don't want any of these high tier free agent wide receivers. I'm looking toward a deep draft for that position. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, let me ask you guys this. What about this? We just spent a whole year with all of our new guys and young guys learning this complex system that we have. It's known to be on the complex side. So we have guys that took all year to learn it. They developed at least some rapport with Zach Wilson. What about, like, rather than go out there and getting kind of even tiered guys, why don't you what about like re-signing Berrios, Crowder, Cole? Just bring them back and then get somebody in the draft like John Amarella is saying. Like, what about that? Why go out there and switch Cole for Chark and this guy? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It just seems like the revolving door. Granted, we're going to have Elijah Moore and Corey Davis. We know that. But I don't know. It's just an idea. Let's see. Connor Williams. Paul Mancini said Connor Williams of the Cowboys could be an upgrade at guard. Yeah, he's another one. I wouldn't hate that at all. He's another one. Let's see what we got here. Ross Mascione, you're the man. Thank you for all you do for our community. Yeah, right on, man. I am of our community. You guys know this, right? I'm not just the guy. I'm us. I'm us, man. I'm real. I've been here the whole time, friends. So good. I'm glad you're here, Ross. That's the truth. Let's see. Mike Williams already re-signed. Yes, he is. So Connor Hughes said, I was looking through Twitter last night and I don't follow Connor Hughes, but I saw, you follow Jets or whatever. He said that the Jets were in love with Mike Williams. Did you see that? That was what. So he said that the two guys the Jets were willing to be aggressive toward were Calvin Ridley and Mike Williams. That seems interesting. I don't know. I mean, he said no to Allen Robinson. He said they merely kicked the tires on Amari Cooper. They weren't willing to pay a guy with the reputation of taking plays off and kind of being on the soft side $20 million. So they checked. Like, if Dallas was willing to eat $10 million of the contract this year, okay, maybe that, but they weren't willing to do it. So that's what Connor Hughes said. But the way I see that, don't forget, Connor Hughes is the guy that told us that the Jets were going to use the number 10 overall pick on Calvin Ridley. Said, we will not use the number 10 overall pick. It's going to go to Calvin Ridley. So right now, Calvin Ridley's not even playing for a year. So you could say whatever you want. Nothing's going to happen one way or the other. So in my opinion, it sounds like a double down. That's just what it sounds like to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, who else we got? Jets Forever says Trey McBride is his 6th overall player. Wow, that's pretty high. But I have him rated high too, man. I don't do that. Like, maybe I should. I don't do it like, all numeric, like a big board like that. Like numerically, I have packs of guys. I do like tiers, but he's my number 1 tight end this year for sure. That doesn't mean I don't like other guys. Let's see what else we got from you guys. Remember, I want to see what you guys want to say. The Rams are re-signing offensive tackle Noteboom to 3-year deal worth up to $47.5. They have no limit. Right? How much money do they have? How can they do this? I don't know. Like, look, one of the things that they did very recently, just last year, to free up, they were in a cap mess. They got rid of Goff. That's why they gave the Detroit Lions an extra first. They gave them a first for Stafford, and then they gave them another first to take Jared Goff. Believe me, they needed to get that contract off their books. Let's see. Randy Yaws says, if we get Trey McBride, I'm going to scream like a girl. Kid's a fucking stud. Yeah, dude, I'm going to be really happy. Like, look, we're going to be watching this first round, right? And we're going to watch. There's going to be a few players. Trey McBride's going to be one of them. We're going to see our pick at 4. We're going to see what we do at 10, trade, no trade, pick, whatever. And then we're going to watch. We're going to see if the Jets are coming up to the first again, whatever. And if it makes it through the first and Trey McBride is on the board, we have the 33, 34, third pick in the second round. The third pick. Do you want to go up and get him? Or do you want to wait it out? You got to be, people are going to try to jump you. He's the best tight end in the class by many people's opinions. So he's the top tight end in the class. So if he's sitting there day 2, and they know the Jets want him, they might jump up. They might jump us. We might have to move up. We might have to. Seriously. Jason Valente says, what do you think about signing Kyle Rudolph? Can still play and would be great vet to mentor Kenny Yeboah and rookie tight end. Hopefully, I love Kyle Rudolph, but last year he was hurt. I have to relook. Admittedly, I didn't follow his season last year for the Giants, but he was one of the guys I wanted to take a look at last year. I talked all about him in free agency last year. I thought the Jets should take a look. He had that injury, he had to have surgery. So I don't really know what he's got. He's dangerous, but as far as the player, if you could get him on a relatively inexpensive deal, he would be a fantastic vet to come in here with the young guys. And I still believe in Kenny Yeboah. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? So, you got Kyle Rudolph, Kenny Yeboah, you draft Trey McBride. There you go. You can keep Wesco if you want. You just re-signed Nick Barden at fullback, so maybe you don't want Wesco anymore. I don't know. Paris, what's up, Paris? He says the Jets should consider trading down and draft more players that can fill some holes. I think they are considering that. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. But it's how much do you want to trade down, though? So Jeremy is telling me the Dolphins just reached a 2-year agreement with running back Chase Edmonds for $12.6 million, $6 million guaranteed. Dolphins are on it. What the hell are the Jets doing? I'm not on Twitter right now, but I have to believe it's blowing up, right? Twitter's probably out of its mind right now. Let's see. Paul Mancini says pass on Kyle Rudolph. Yeah, that's the thing too. I can easily see why a team would want to pass on him. It's like he's just, too risky. Why bring him in there and waste time with him if you don't think he can play the whole season? You know what I mean? Let's see what else we got. Jake Matthews agreed to a 3-year extension that will pay him $52.5 million over the first 3 years and reduces his 2022 cap number. Interesting. See, that's the thing. So they're pushing it to later. Like, that's the thing. Like we talked about, there was an article that came out about Amari Cooper, that he absolutely wouldn't destroy our cap because you can do all these crazy things. But what they were talking about in that article was pushing money to next year and the year after. Like, you're going to have to pay it. Eventually, unless a guy just says, yeah, sure, I'll take half, like Crowder did last year. Crowder took half for guarantees. So Joe Douglas said, look, your contract isn't guaranteed. I'll guarantee your contract, but at this rate. And Crowder agreed. So unless that happens, which is rare, by the way, unless that happens, you're going to have to pay it eventually, man. And it's like, we don't have a team that's worth pushing things off to the future. Like, that's right when we're going to be hitting a stride, hopefully. So if you push all this money to 2023 and 24, when we have the potential of doing something, you're going to be in cap hell and you're going to have to get rid of guys and all. It's like, just keep going forward, slow and steady. Jarvis Landry released. You guys want Jarvis Landry? Never too old to be a wise ass. I know who you are. He says Connor does nothing but talk about the obvious, his golf game and his girlfriend. Watched 1 or 2 of his podcasts and unsubbed. Yeah, I'm not a big Connor Hughes fan. I find him to be disengaged. Like, that's just me. I don't have anything personally against him or anything. I just, again, just like you said, I don't really find much there. When has Connor Hughes told us anything that actually came to pass? That was surprise. Ooh, Connor Hughes broke this. I don't remember anything. He's doing the same shit I do. Except he has real sources. I would be like, dude, give me some shit, man. What are you doing? Aaron Sohn said, Green Bean fills my speakers when I'm driving to pick up trash. Get me through my day, Pilly. Here you go. Well, that makes me happy. You got somebody working out there, doing the do, and we're helping you get through it. That makes me very happy. Nothing makes me happier, man. That's the good shit. Like guys driving to work, you know, let's talk. Let's get this going. Let's talk about our Jets. So good. That makes me happy. Thanks for letting me know, man. Randy Yaws says the Saints can't even afford a free meal at the Salvation Army. No way they trade for Watson. They'd have to gut that effing thing. Yeah. Well, look, the Saints were able to last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, they were $108 million over the cap. Guys were willing to restructure and do all this kind of stuff and take less because they still had Breeze, they still had Peyton, and they wanted to make that last push. Breeze is gone, obviously, and then we saw Sean Payton leave this year. So I got to think that guys are not going to be willing to stay for less. I think it's time to break that one up, and I think that they're going to have to, at least to some degree, right? Let's see. Submission says, I'm still high on you, Bo. Yeah, I see no reason not to be. He's a very athletic, very talented tight end. He was green, and they worked him. I mean, look, he has like that traditional folding into a pro. He's an undrafted free agent. He was on the practice squad. He came in via injuries, so that accelerated him coming in. He played specials. He was a very good special teamer. He was competent, did a good job, got into the offense the last couple of games of the year and made good. Nothing special. Just when asked to do something, he did it well. So I think that's good. James Conner reaches a 3-year deal to stay in Arizona. Wow. Everybody out there working except Joe. James Longo says, wake up, Jor Douglas. Wake up. Jay Samaro sucked. We should have went Eric Ebron. Eric Ebron was drafted before, though. And so was Safarian Jenkins was drafted after. Ebron was first. We took, was that Calvin Pryor or was that, I think that was the Calvin Pryor year. Maybe I'm wrong. I think so. Jay Samaro was a good prospect. He had like over 100 catches his last year. Ooh, Andrew Candela says, LaRon Landry was released. LaRon Landry. There you go. Arizona extended the corner. $7 million a year for James Conner. Interesting. That's good. Hawk says, we have to go after the top players at their position now that we aren't doing shit in free agency. What do you mean? Dude, it's literally 29 minutes in, Hawk. Relax. Just relax. Everybody relax. Like this, that might be a legitimate gripe in 2 days. Sure. But it's 29 minutes in. Like, this is how you can tell where you really are, right? Where do I really sit? Like, if somebody comes in, if you think you're doing okay and somebody comes in and turns the light on and you lose your mind, that means you weren't okay. The light switch did not make you that mad, right? You were already a mess sitting on the couch, and you could know that about yourself. Like, if somebody walks in and goes, hey, how you doing? You go, fuck you, man. We're talking about this. Like, that has nothing to do with them. Doesn't matter what they did, right? So the same thing goes on here. Like, if we're losing our minds 20 minutes into free agency, shows we were tightly wound before that, Hawk. You gotta relax. Gotta relax. Okay? But I'm getting pissed off. Just want to tell you. Let's see. Giraffe Deli wants Jelani Woods or Wiedermeyer. I don't want Wiedermeyer. I wouldn't be devastated or anything, but I don't want Wiedermeyer. I would love Jelani Woods, though. He's going to be like a fifth. Or look, last year I thought Poljan, Eubanks, Yabo, I thought they were all going to be drafted. None. So JD, Brian Turner, thanks, Brian. He goes, JD is that person with the purse overflowing with coupons while feeling the fruit in the manager's special section of produce. Is that bad? Is that a bad thing? I always feel the fucking fruit. Is that a bad thing, Brian? Coupons? What's wrong with coupons, man? Oh, remember when I was a kid, my mother would sit down at the table of Sunday paper. It would be a whole thing cutting coupons. Remember? Ain't nothing wrong with saving $50 at the food line. But I know what you're saying. The Jets are irrelevant, just hype. I don't know how much hype. I mean, the whole league laughs at us, buddy. Rise of the New York Jets. Would love to see the Jets sign 2 of these available players. Guard James Daniels, safety Marcus Williams, cornerback Carlton Davis, and defensive tackle DJ Jones. Interesting. I don't see us signing a defensive tackle externally. Like, we have 2 guys that we could keep. Kyle Phillips is one. I think he should have already been signed. Like, I don't understand it. But I'd be very happy with one of those 2. 2 of them. I'd be really happy. Like, if we come out of this with James Daniels and Marcus Williams, I'm going to be ecstatic with this free agent period. You know what I mean? Listen to Green Bean making my evening meal. Where are you? Yeah, Robbie Rhino? Evening, he's making dinner. Oh, Jeffrey Reed says, I hear Cleveland is listening to offers for Baker Mayfield, huh? Wow. How interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, Owen, just let P. Ryan do his thing, right? I like him too. But look, if the coaching staff doesn't think he can perform in their system, it is what it is, right? But P. Ryan is a good back. He's never going to be a great back, but he's a solid back. They put him in 1 game last year, and he had 4 yards a carry. He had like 8 carries, and he had a 4-yard average. He had a 10-yard run. Like, I don't know. Seems like he's good to me, but it is what it is. I've let go of that one. I'm still holding on to some hope with Mims, though. Landry told his agent he don't want the Jets, but I can find a Jets fan that wants him. Actually, remember a couple years ago when the Giants signed him, right? That's the Giants guy. Yeah. I thought, no, is he Baltimore? I forget. He wanted to go. He was interested in signing with the Jets. Let's see. We want Joe to spend money, but there's nobody good to spend it on. Interestingly, though, Hawk, there's nobody good to spend it on, but we will lose our minds every time that somebody gets money spent on them, that it wasn't us. There's plenty of good guys. Submission says Joe is waiting till 5 p.m. That's what he's done so far. We know this. I put out a tweet before we started here today. I said, hey, just so you know, we already know. We already know. Getting mad at it. It's not going to, we already know. Joe Douglas so far hasn't done much in that beginning period of free agency. He waits till the nighttime. Why? I don't know. It's like we made those jokes that he sleeps all day and he works all night. We don't know. That's interesting, man. That they're listening to offers for Baker. I wonder what the offers are. So imagine that. Imagine that. Jason Valente likes DJ Chark. Yeah, I don't see I don't dislike him, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about DJ Chark. He seems like a Keelan Cole type signing to me, Broncos are interested in defensive end Randy Gregory. How interesting. Let's see. The Jets are never winning the Super Bowl in 2022 with or without top free agents. No, it's probably not happening. You're right. What we want to see is we want to see steady improvement. We want to see what looks like a team that is getting their shit together. That's what we want. That's all we want. That's all I need, baby. Right? Let me see something. I might have to start my truck. Let's see here. True fans go bananas. True Jets fans go bananas in a half hour free agency. It's because we're masochists. Yeah, that's why you're here in the first place. I still believe that there's some sort of universal karmic thing that we did to get, like we all did something. When we got this life or something, there's something. There's something here. Why are we here? And then you see guys like Jude, like Jude Jets. You say, how'd you become a fan, Jude Jets? He goes, I like the color green. Like, oh, poor kid. You know what I mean? That's it. That's all it took to get you into this miserable cycle with us. Like I tried to make my son a Baltimore Ravens fan. He wouldn't do it. I'll tell you to relax, Chris Merkovich. If you snooze, you lose. Yeah, whatever. Dude, Jets forever. You got to cut it out, dude. You got to cut it out. Please. That's the last warning, man. He's not a bust. He didn't do anything yet. Let's see who we got. You guys are crazy. Let's see who we got him. Yeah, right. Larry Romano. Baker's going to claim squatters' rights. I belong here. Yeah, it's a funny one, man. That quarterback class, right? It's just funny when we have all these evaluators, right? Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen, they were looked at as the sure things. Lamar Jackson was looked at as a glorified running back, and Josh Allen was the guy with the most risk. It's crazy. Yeah, that's the truth, Dark Soldier. Remember what Joe Douglas said, and it was like groundbreaking news for us, with the Jamal Adams thing. He said, look, if I get calls, I answer the phone. And Jamal Adams got so mad at that he didn't talk to the coach or the GM for a week and took all of his Jet stuff off his social media. You want to talk about a petulant child? Of course you're expendable. Of course. Now, the offer might not be good. I might not take it, but hell yeah, I'm going to listen. It's like, you go on Zillow. Zillow is a house app, right? And there's a thing you can do on there. It says, make me sell, right? So if you have a really great house, you can just put it up there. It doesn't have to be for sale. You just put a price in there and says, make me sell it. So if you really want this house, it's valued at $350, but if you give me $450, I'll move out. They have that. It's hot out here all of a sudden, guys. Look at the sun. I'm in the desert. Oh, man. Now I'm all hot. I got to get a new hat. So, okay, let's see what we got. This is fun. I like hearing the news with you guys. Cyril, what's up, Cyril Devine? He says the cap is, this looks familiar, Cyril. He says the cap is the top 51 salaries. Every sign has a drop. Overthecap.com draft pool has cost to sign the draft at $19.4 million. Net effect of free cap is $13.1 million. The Jets have $40 million to sign free agents after signing the draft. See, this is one of those things. I don't know what Cyril's talking about. I know about the first half. How can you sign guys at $19.4 million? I understand that the lowest guys on your cap, the lowest 2-3 guys, wouldn't count against the cap. I get it. But how does that take it down $6 million? I need a class, Cyril. Somebody's got to help me. Somebody's got to sit me down. Let's see. Panthers release cornerback A.J. Boye. Interesting. You guys want him? Thank you, Cyril. I appreciate that, buddy. And thanks for the help. I mean, I'm sure you're right. I just don't know how. Right. Scotty says, I don't deserve this fate. You're right. We did something. We did something in the past, right? Yeah, I like DJ Chark. I'm just saying, I don't like the same thing, not exactly the same, but people are looking at him like he's the secret gem. I just struggle with that. That's all, John. That's all. I did. People were telling me to why. I did. That's all I do is look at shit, is look at tape, and I try to watch full games when I can. That's the best. When you can watch guys when it's not just their highlight reel, that's the best. That's my favorite. And then I usually do that, and then I'll watch a couple guys' takes of that so I can hear what other people are seeing. And if they're seeing something I'm not seeing, I look at it through that lens. That's what I try to do. Let's see. King Blaze. What's up, King Blaze? Says free agent Honey Badger and Tomlinson. Yeah, that would make me happy. The Honey Badger would be good because he's got that attitude to him, right? Like he's got that nasty streak. Like that's a good thing. Now, whether or not the Jets want that, But that's what he brings. Like, I love Marcus Williams, but Tyrann Mathieu, I always want to say Tyrann Mathieu said he brings that little bit of nastiness that I think would be helpful for our young defensive backs. I do think we need a vet defensive back, though. So Jay-Z Black says, I think Watson goes to New Orleans. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, who knows, right? I don't know what's going to go on with Watson. Are they still asking for 3 firsts? 3 firsts is a lot, man. Even though you're getting a quarterback, that is a lot. Oh, Darrell Williams. He was somebody I was talking about last year. The Buffalo Bills released offensive lineman Darrell Williams in a move that frees up about $5.5 million in salary cap entering the NFL's free agency period. Interesting. What do you think of that? Panthers are up to $32 million in cap space. You think that's enough to bring Watson in? The thing is with the Panthers, let's be real here. They have a team. You know what I mean? I got to get this shadow out of my face. Where's that shadow coming from? Oh, that's why. Because it's reversed. Okay. I'm trying to figure it out. There's nothing in my way. Let's see. So let's see what we got here. Melvin Gordon would be doing the rounds with North Carolina running back if that happened. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Let's see. I need a blue chip player signed to the New York Jets. That's what he needs. JR1068 needs some blue chippage. Can we sign someone that matters? We are now 42 minutes into the free agent period, and we have had it. We're done. Come on, Jor Douglas. Now, let's take bets. I'm going to make a poll here. Not bets, but I'm going to make a poll. I want to see who you guys think the number one chance, like the best possible free agent. Who do you think our first free agent is going to be? Wait, what am I doing over here? Let's see. I'm going to put a poll up there for you guys. Okay, let's do a poll. First free agent. Tark. Let's see here. Okay, we're going to see. I want to see what you guys think. I can only put 4 options. I wanted to put like 10. All right, well, let's go. Out of these guys, who do we think it's going to be? So if you refresh your browser right now, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see who we think it is. Texans ain't taking Darnold. They got Mills, who's better than Sam. Yeah, I think Sam is in the abyss. But the thing is that the Panthers already committed to his contract, so they could cut him. Right, but he's guaranteed his money. What is it, $18 million? Something like that? So they're paying him $18 million. Dude, I got to say, like, no matter what they do, if they get Watson, great. They already have a team, and they have some weapons down there. Now, C-Mac, we don't know if the guy can stay healthy or not, but, they have quite the receiving core. They have a very good tight end. Their offensive line sucks, but they have weapons, and they have a defense. So if they get Watson, they got a shot. But up until this point, dude, they have mismanaged that quarterback situation like nobody's business. Like nobody's business, man. They cut Cam. They brought in Bridgewater, 3 years, $63 million, got rid of him for a 6th-round pick while still paying $17 million, traded 3 picks for the 32nd ranked quarterback in the NFL. He sucked after 3 games, and they're already looking for a quarterback. They have no second, third, fourth, like they have no picks. I don't know what they can give the Texans. They'd have to give him C-Mac and I don't know, man, more. Like they'd have to give a whole bunch of stuff. This year's first, next year's first, the first after that. They'd have to sell the future for it. That would be funny. Return of the Jedi, Rusty Spooner. That'd be hilarious if Seattle signed Sam and put him back with Jamal. Well, imagine that. Like Seattle decides, you know what? We can fix Sam. And they make a trade, or Carolina cuts him and he goes over there. You know what I mean? That'd be funny. That'd be funny. I don't think it's happening, though. So let's see. Who do we think? I put the poll in there. I want to see what you guys think. Is that true? Is Seattle thinking about working out Colin Kaepernick for real? I don't know, man. I mean, Kaepernick, that's been a long time now. I mean, he's he's got no wear and tear on his tires, but I don't know. Gilmore's another guy. I mean, he was injured, but he came in after the injury for the Panthers. The Panthers traded for him from the Patriots, and they took him, and he played well the last, I think it was 8 games of the year. He was somebody I was talking about early in the offseason. I would love it. I would be happy with that. I mean, dude, 2 years ago, he was the best cornerback in the NFL, arguably. Top 3, let's say. Maybe. Here's what I think Sam needs, and this is what I said last year, too, and I still believe it. The guy needs a year to sit. He needs that year. Let him learn the offense. Let him take all the stress and pressure off of him. Take it all off and let him just breathe. And then let him learn the offense, get him some protection, and then maybe he's fixed. He's still young. He's still young. He's a bust for sure, Bino. But you never know what can happen. He's still super young. Somebody's got to take their time with him. Like the Panthers trading for him after the clear damage that the Jets did to him. No quarterback coach for 3 years. No offensive line, changing his receivers every single year. He had nothing here. We mismanaged that one. If Sam ever had a chance, we didn't do a good job of trying to give him that chance, right? But if he's going to, what the Panthers did is they took him and put him right in. They put the whole franchise on his shoulders. I knew it was going to fail. He had 3 games in him. Silv said James Daniels will be the first signing. I would be ecstatic with that. I would be ecstatic. I know, right, Adam? After all that, 5 years into his career, he's a backup. Crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. Hey, Green Bean, Jason Valente, did you ever get that bucket? No, I'm doing that today, buddy. I'm going to film it and I'm going to send you guys. I'm going to let you know what happens. I'm doing that today. This is my last day in Sedona. So I get to hang out here. I thought I just saw a UFO. You see that thing? It's a plane, though. It was just weird. I got frozen for a second there. Let's see. We were never in the right position to draft Arnold, much less trade 3 second-round picks to trade up for him. Yeah, I mean, look, dude. At the time, the fact that McCagnon didn't give a first to move up, I thought was a positive. But if you use 3 second-round picks and your first for one player, the rest of your draft should be ensuring that player succeeds. They didn't have a second, obviously. The first pick was a small school, older defensive tackle. You took 2 defensive tackles in that. It's like, it just makes no sense. So what's going on, man? What's the news? Talk to me. Who, Eddie and the Cruisers? Is that what you mean, Eddie? Yeah, that's what I think it is, though, Eddie. Ed Wentz has an attitude problem. People don't like him. That's what we keep hearing. I mean, he's on his 3rd team in 3 years, so that's not good. Pasta in a pail, exactly. Yeah. I don't have fireworks, buddy. Exactly. AM, Sam Darnold and 10 defensive tackles, Super Bowl. It's just amazing how poorly we were run. It's amazing. You know what sucks is that us as fans, We are stuck here. So you get a guy in there who literally doesn't know what he's doing, and we have to endure it. We have to sit here. I hate it. We should absolutely have some say, right? You guys agree? That's what we should do. Yeah, Bino, yeah, USC. Well, we had Mark Sanchez too. And what's the big one? What the hell's his name? He was on the Bengals. I mean, I don't know. USC just feels soft overall to me. I mean, I like ABT and all, but they just feel like they always did for me. I could be wrong. I just feel like they're a softer team. All right. So we got to talk about news. Let me look at the poll, see what you guys are thinking. I'm going to end the poll, see what we got here. Ooh, I watched the lead change right as I ended it. Leinart. Oh my God. Big bust. Sure thing. All right. So the poll went like this. We put up a few options. We had 167 votes. Which free agent do you think will be first? Laken Tomlinson, Marcus Williams, James Daniels, or DJ Chark? We had 2 offensive linemen and a safety with a wide receiver. Chark got 5%. Daniels got 16%. Marcus Williams got 38%, tied with Tomlinson. You guys are split, but that was interesting because I watched both of them have 39% for a second. So there you go. Tomlinson or Marcus Williams, you heard it here first. That's the way it's going to go. That's the way it's going to go. Yeah, I would like it. If they went public, we all owned it. I'd be at those damn shareholder meetings. They could never do that with us. Jets fans are out of control. We are out of control. So Brian Turner says, supposedly we're checking out Brandon Scherf and Bradley Bozeman. That's good. Yeah, go get the most expensive, most injury-prone guard and then replace a guy that doesn't need replacing. That sounds smart. I think so too, D. Vieira. I wouldn't be unhappy if Marcus Williams was the first one, but I think Laken Tomlinson or whoever your guard is that you're going to, even if it is Scherf, fix that right guard spot. That should be the priority. They should be pounding. What do you need to come here? Get it. Just give it to them. That's it. So out here, 4 a.m. to 5:15, you can hear them with underground boring machines, expanding facilities here. It's pretty crazy. Listen for the hums and around here. Really? Oh shit! I'm glad I'm leaving. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm done trying to figure it out, guys. You know what I mean? Like I was a hand waver for a long time, yelling and screaming. I just want to talk Jets, take care of my family, help people that need help. That's what I do. I'm not trying to. I watch a whole bunch of shit on past civilizations and all that stuff. But like, if they're doing, I'm like, okay, all right, do what you got to do. I'm gone. I watch Stranger Things, how the Russians have bases under, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's scary to me. I don't want it. Let's see. I like Gage over Chark. Darrell Williams could be a nice signing at running back. I know. I don't know. What do you think? What running back, guys? What do you guys think we're going to do at running back? Think we're going to do anything? Think we're going to bring in another guy? I don't know. I mean, I think we might re-sign Tevin Coleman, but again, like, why not? Why isn't he re-signed? Let's see what Adam says. Samini says, Jets fishing in the big boy pool. Bozeman, Tomlinson, and Scherf at right guard. Obviously need a right guard. Apparently looking to upgrade at center too. Jets struggled to run the ball up the middle. Well, look, that's what I said. Like from on the outside looking in, it looks like Connor McGovern is a guy that we don't need to fix, at least this year. But if they see him as a problem, they're like, hey, yeah, he's fine numerically, but we can't do anything with him in there. Fucking do it. That's what you're going to do. Do it. Let's see. So the Chiefs cut Frank Clark, and now they're working on a restructured deal. That's interesting. I know, it's like he's good, dude. Trubisky to Pittsburgh. So that's their big swing at quarterback. That's insurance for when they can't get Malik Willis. But let me tell you, if he's on the board with us, they're going to want to trade. If he's still there, I bet they want to jump up. Trubisky to Pittsburgh. Very interesting. That's what I think, Watch UK. Go ahead and keep Coleman. If you don't like P. Ryan, fine. Get rid of him. You got Michael Carter. That's great. Keep Tevin Coleman. I don't know why they got this hard on for Austin Walter. Whatever. But bring in a guy from the fourth round. My goal, my target would be Rachaad White. And I think the Jets like him too, because again, in the Senior Bowl, they used him. Why is my line? They used him. They ran him the most out of anybody on the team. He got the most carries and all that stuff on the field. So if you look at the two guys the Jets played the most, it was Rachaad White and Chad Muma. So that could be something. They wanted to see these guys. And then don't forget, they made Boye Mafe do something that he's never done before. They made Boye Mafe have his hand in the dirt for the whole time, when he's never done that. He's been a 2-point rusher, stand-up, and they told him, hey, when you come here, we're going to want to see you with your hand in the dirt, and he dominated. So they were looking at guys. We know Zion Johnson. They were making him snap the ball and all that stuff. So Trubisky got a 2-year deal from Pittsburgh. Beam me up. Right, Mike? I know, right, B-Trav? Jets struggling to run the ball up the middle is the understatement of the decade. Tony Richardson, yeah, he was. Remember, look, there was like a long period of time there where our fullbacks were special. We had Gerald Sowell, we had Richie Anderson, then we had Tony Richardson, then we had the Terminator for a minute there. But it was like, dude, that was a major part of who we were. Richie Anderson and Gerald Sowell were studs. Even Brad Baxter before them. So I'd like to see Rachaad White running back. That's what I'd like to see. So Jeremy says that the signing of Trubisky in Pittsburgh means that the Steelers are likely out of the Jimmy G sweepstakes. So that would mean the Colts rise to the top from Jeremy's perspective. The Colts remain interested in Jimmy G. Let's see how that one goes. Aaron Jacobs has a very good point. He says, just bring back Greg Van Roten. He's great at throwing his rookie quarterback under the bus and backing over him again. And then also rolling on his left tackle. Let's not forget, that's the reason Mekhi Becton went down. Greg Van Roten couldn't handle his block. We did have great centers. We have a long history of very, very good centers. Joe Fields, Jim Sweeney, Mawai, Mangold. We had just decades of good center play. So Rusty Spooner wants Walker or Mafe, but need Dean. Yeah, dude, I'd be very happy with any of those guys. It's really going to be an interesting offseason, guys. We are here. We are into the offseason. We are just about an hour in. A whole slew of guys got signed. I can't believe Alex Kappa, dude. That doesn't make sense to me. 5 minutes into the free agency tampering window, they already had a contract worked out. Sounds to me like they might have been tampering a little early, right? That's what it sounds like to me. I agree. It's organizational malpractice if Greg Van Roten should still be on the team. I agree, dude. He's got to go. He's got to go. You save $3.5 million to cut him. Cut him. That's the thing, right, JT Mac? I would like the Jets to find linemen, nasty types who are willing to stand up, Zach, when he gets hit late. Right, dude. No one should touch our quarterback. And if they do, they need to hear about it. That would be, it's like, come on. Dude, we saw numerous times where Zach was either hit low, hit dirty, hit late, and they don't do shit. Oh, I know, Stephen Engel, but they're not supposed to. Like, this is supposed to be the legal tampering period. They're not supposed to. And that clearly, I mean, they didn't even play games with it. They didn't even play games. D. Vieira, Green Bean, what would your reaction be if we signed Terrell Edmonds instead of Marcus Williams at safety? I don't know, man. Like, here's my whole thing. Like, I have my guys I like, right? But I need to believe that the Jets, this new coaching staff with this newer organization, they're trying to build a certain culture. So if they think Edmonds is going to be the same impact, I wouldn't be unhappy with that. I don't know. Let's see. Linderbaum is the next great center. Yeah, maybe. 289 pounds. Let's see. Right. Don't touch my quarterback, dude. What is this crap? They have to step up, right? Wild Wave, they have to do it. They have to do it. Like, it was complete crap last year. We watched it numerous times. That one play with the Patriots when they dove at Zach's knee on the sideline, that was bullshit because it was right in front of our bench. No one, it was just quiet. Saleh didn't say, no one said, I don't understand. So many cheap shots last year. So many late hits. The kid got the crap beat out of him. And no one stood up for him. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, Fant wasn't splashy. As a matter of fact, Jets fans hated it. 9 out of every 10 Jets fans hated the George Fant signing. We wanted Conklin that year, remember? JR says Cleveland is exploring a massive trade for getting Deshaun Watson from Houston. There you go. That would be fun. Deshaun Watson on the Browns. Yeah, I want Trevor Penning too. I like Trevor Penning. Right, Randy Oz. You think Brick, Woody, Faneca, Mangold, Moore would have let that shit fly? No, they never did. Mangold is on, I mean, you saw him numerous times when they did shit like that, grabbing guys. He took no crap, man. Mangold took no shit from anybody. Let's see. All right, guys. Well, we are at the 1 o'clock hour. We started this at 11:30. We are going to wrap this up in just a few minutes. I want to remind you, keep calm. Keep calm. It's going to happen. The first guy we're signing is going to be a right tackle, and that's going to be fun. We're going to be happy about that. The second guy we sign is going to be a defensive back. That's what's going to happen. You heard it here first. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. We're going to have a good day. I'm going to be checking with you guys all day long, but I want to thank you for coming to the first ever live Green Beans Jets pod. I'm going to release it on audio format like I do every podcast. It's going to take me a minute to download it and do all that sort of stuff, but it will be released on audio format for you guys. But I want to thank you for coming. Don't forget to like this video. If you're here, hit that like button, everybody. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's the easiest thing to do. Just click that subscribe button and you're good. Don't forget about my Patreon, all sorts of exclusive content. I got to bring you guys over. There we go. There's shadows everywhere today. There we go. Yeah. So the Patreon, you get all sorts of exclusive content. We hang out every Wednesday. We watch classic Jets games together, positional breakdowns. You get all sorts of additional stuff and access to me. It's fun. It's a good time, and I appreciate the support. But free advice. I put an app down there for you guys to save money on gas. I use it. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. Just something I'm throwing at you guys. Click on that. Use my promo code, and we both get 15% or 15 cents off the next time you use it. So it helps. It helps. $5 a gallon is bullshit. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for coming and hanging out. This was fun. I really do appreciate you guys being here. Have a great rest of the day. We'll be checking each other out on Twitter and everywhere else. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you guys in what'll feel like a few minutes. Have a great night, everybody, or a great rest of the day, everybody. I'm not used to saying that. See you later. Thanks for coming.
I love Jets fans. You name one other organization that deals with the shit that we deal with and is still this passionate. Sure, you got the little segments, the dog pound. But look at the Patriots fans. They just had 20 years of there are kids, there are 20, 21-year-old, 25-year-old people in this world that are Patriots fans who have never known losing. Never in their entire lifetime. They were born into this Belichick Brady thing, and they have consistently won. They've won 6 Super Bowls. They've been to 9 or whatever it is. And then when they didn't get in there, they were the AFC Championship game or the semifinals or whatever. And what happens the year that Tom Brady leaves? Dude, you have droves of people leaving the Patriots. These are diehard Pats fans. This is what they have. Diehard Pats fans going to be Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans. Why? Because I'm a fucking fan of Tom Brady. Bullshit. What is that?